things to do. Sometimes it doesn't always instantly show up, even though I've started the live. That's always fun. Alright, you guys are now aware that is done. Good morning, Vicky. I used to be called Vicky. Then eventually it changed to Toria, and now it's just Tori. But I answer to all things. I also got inspired by all of you yesterday, and so today I am quite punk. I even have a glorious earring. So I can thank all of you for that. Ugh. This chair is not as comfy as my other chair, so I am going to get my other chair. You're not Victoria though. That's okay. Bigger, squishier chair. Ooh, yeah, see, that's better. It's bouncier, which apparently matters to me today. Alright. So for those that don't know, and are tuning in later, because I've only got I've got 20 people here. Hello, everybody. 2 lives. Yeah, no, 2 lives. Hello, Mother. This is from Mia Zen, and it's fantastic, but I only have a little bit. So I have fussy cut all of these, look, all perfectly, but I decided that just that would be too much. So we have gone with a basket weave vinyl as an accent. I've got all the things, I hope. And then these little accents, usually, and I can show you from the back, they're usually for 1/2 inch. I have turned it into a 1 inch hardware set. So quite easy to do. I literally just found the center, put a 1 inch ruler, lined it up in the middle, and drew some lines. So I bought that, and I did it in proper pen so it wouldn't fade, so I could show you all. We're going with gunmetal hardware because I also have this fabulous Skull Chick zipper pull. So it works perfectly. And then I just so happen to have in my stash this rainbow sugar Skull Chick that looks very similar. I know it's not the same, but it is similar. And so it's just going to be a very, very extra bag, much like yesterday's one. Hello, Nikki from the UK. Okay. I am again in comfy tracky pants. I really enjoy sewing in tracky pants. Turns out it's a thing, but I only own 2 pairs. So I'm going to probably have to rectify that situation. So this is going to be my shoulder strap. Now, these straps are just 30 inches. So plus the little accents probably gives you about, I don't know. It's a good question, actually. 3, 6, so 15, 30, 36 inches, so like a meter. For those that don't work in inches. Now, where's that bin of mine? I've been cutting out an order, even though I can't access the lady because I'm still locked out of my Facebook account. I don't even know how to fix it at this point. I've sent an email. I've tried to find something online to help me. It's not working out the way we hoped. I'm contemplating, do I have to start a new one? It would absolutely suck to start a new one, but I don't know how much longer I should leave it before I just give up and move on with my life. The main issue, I don't so much care about starting again, except there's a custom order. Now I could probably find her through Facebook groups, so it's not the end of the world. But also my thing is facebook.com/seemslegitsewing. I don't really want to lose that, but I mean, I could also be Seems Legit Crafts because I now have the laser. So, I don't know. And my business is called Seems Legit, not Seems Legit Sewing. So I don't know what to do. My lives mostly are always around this time, and I'm trying to be more regular on a Tuesday. Tuesday works for me because it gives me Monday to like prep things. Ah, I didn't even get a head. I don't know how I feel about that. That's going to be the strap. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Also not as cool. Moving on. We're going to put more double-sided tape because I'm going to put strapping on the back. I said it like, oh, whoops. Dropped my horror things. So I only have one of these earrings. The other one broke, which made me very sad. But with my hair like this, it totally works. I am weirdly excited to be able to wear this, even if it isn't going to be outside. Alright, so I have some strapping here. So I'm just going to lay that on the back. And the reason we use the tape is because then it'll line up. Love a good line up. Strap without her eyes makes them all mysterious. Well, also I don't have enough to cut a different strap. So it's this or nothing. So we're just going to go with this. And so be it. But double-sided tape really does help line this stuff up. Usually I don't do them the same width for this exact reason. But because I haven't done it in a while, we'll just prove that we can. You know? Chop it off. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did also bring strap ends in case I didn't want to use them. Because we all know I like to impulsively change my mind. It's my wheelhouse, really. As sad as that sentence is, it is absolutely my wheelhouse. Alright, so we are going to go up to a 4 stitch length because 4 on this machine looks beautiful. And 1/8 of an inch, we're going to stitch and back stitch. Whoa! Try that again. If you get your fingers in the right position, that works out really well. Jump to the other side. I'm going to leave the jump stitch. Back stitch again. I'm wondering if that strap is a bit... Oh, no, it's all right. I don't want it to be too thick because that won't be fun either. I am using thread that is probably too thick for what we're doing, but I'm just stubbornly refusing to use the bonded polyester. So after this video, I'm going to go buy myself bonded nylon in black in the right size. Feels important. I do use a lot of black. So with these now being thicker, theoretically this will be easier to get on. But see, it'll still look nice even with a 1 inch. It just makes this seem less pointy. So to design these, by the way, I took a circle and a square, turned the square on an angle, and then joined them together. All pretty easy, really. But these, I don't trust these by themselves. We are going to need some base stabilizer. Now, if I remember correctly, I have a piece right here. Ta-da! Here's one I prepared earlier. Do your safe bar. So my machine, I know it did come with a safe bar and I absolutely took it off. Judge me all you want for that. But I couldn't see the stitches properly. So I couldn't see like lining up fabric, and my stitches were wonky, very wonky. And that's obviously not helpful. So I took the safety bar off, and now I can see. The safety bar is there because you may not be paying attention. Whereas for the most part, I pay attention, so I didn't need it. It was like right in the line of sight for where I'm trying to line up fabrics. So I got rid of it. I just unscrewed it. I just followed it back to where it was, unscrewed it. Good to go. I need to cut this. I'm going to cut this at like 7/8 of an inch. So just slightly skinnier than 1 inch so it doesn't show up on the edges. I have my cutting table behind me at the moment. Probably much to my husband's disappointment, but I did promise him I'd clean up today, and he doesn't really seem all that phased about it, so that's awesome. Alright, 7/8 of an inch. Hello, Spain! I love that we're all over the world. Alright, I am going to put double-sided tape in that bit there. Also, I did not change this on the computer. I did it by hand. So I traced out the actual original design, and then I just put the ruler over the top and drew an inch. So I literally, because this is a 1 inch ruler, this is another ruler I designed from Brimax. So I just lined up all these little lines with the center, and then bam, 1 inch. So now I can use 1 inch hardware. Because a lot of you guys don't have 1/2 inch, and you guys were concerned about this. So this is my solution. Ta-da! I can solve anything. I'm going to move that so we can see better. Don't need that. Mine is like mounted inside the foot. So my simplest solution is buy another foot. I do vaguely remember having something there, and I pulled it off. Another option, if you don't want to have to purchase a foot, you could just get side cutters and cut the wire off. And then get a bit of sandpaper and sand it down so it's not a sharp bit. Also problem solved. But you'll never be able to put it back. Not that I plan on ever putting it back, but if you were so inclined to want it back at any point, you won't be able to. Alright, so stick it on your double-sided tape. Base stabilizer is awesome. So if you want it off and you've decided that stuff that I never want again, get side cutters or get your partner to get side cutters if you don't have a good hand strength, or like really good pliers, and cut it as close as you can. And then just get a little square of sandpaper or a nail file, because that is essentially sandpaper, and file it down. That's my life solution for you. Because I apparently come with all the options. Go me. Good morning, Adelaide. Well, not Adelaide. Is that Maya? I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. I feel really bad when I do it, and I never mean to do it. But I am not great with accents or anything like that. All right, so we're going to stitch that like we did the last one. So in the original, we just want to stitch like so. We want to leave some tails so we can pull it through and tie it off because it's prettier. Ah, would you look at that? Oh. Yeah, so you can either buy a foot that doesn't have it or just side cutter, cut it off, be done. They're annoying. I am not telling you that everybody should go out and do it, but if you don't want it anymore, just get rid of it. So long as you're conscious of the fact that you shouldn't put your fingers too close, which I feel like we probably all are at this point. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen me not sew my hair. Oh no, don't do that. No! Stop it. where these things come in handy. Right, we're gonna go whoop, around, grab the end and pull it through like a surgeon. Am I childish? Yes, yes I am. Except I also lost a few stitches doing that because everything's out to get me today. Ah! Stop it. So now we're going to do back stitching because I'm not playing that game. No deal. Hello. Welcome everybody. I apologize now, not in advance, but after the fact. I did use the @everyone today. I don't use it very often because that's just annoying. But I know a lot of you guys tell me that you don't get alerts about my lives and then you're sad you didn't make it here. So I thought that perhaps doing the @everyone would make sure that you all got here safely and in a timely fashion. So if that annoyed you, I do apologize, but I don't see another way to alert everybody because YouTube's meant to, but it alerts you way later than it should. Which in my opinion is just rude, but what do you do? This thread, by the way, way too thick for what I'm doing. See? There we go. Is it any drier today? Absolutely not. Pretty sure there was more water in my sewing room this morning. We're just ignoring it, okay? I'm just ignoring the sewing room. I am going to just leave my templates out there because they are acrylic and cannot get damaged. Worst case scenario is they get a layer of mold, in which case I can clean it off. Everything else is inside in a mess on the floor. My mission in life is to use up all the fabrics. But as soon as my apron pattern arrives, I am going to use so much of that fabric, it's going to make people's heads spin. Oh, that's not it. This fabric comes with a matching zipper. This is not it, obviously. This is my blood spatter one. But, yeah, see, you get the thing too late. I've also been thinking more about my fundraising 24-hour marathon. We need to set how many things I have to make in the 24 hours. I have decided it needs to have like you must get X amount done in X amount of time. I mean, if I get it done quicker, awesome. I probably won't though, so there's that. I don't want this. I want the other size, and I can't see it. I can only see super skinny or super fit. I want the middle one. I've got 2 rolls of both the sizes I don't want because that's just... Oh, found it, right? 2, and I found the other one. I need to do the cart. It needs to get on my list. I'm glad that you guys aren't all mad that I use the tag. I know some businesses use it way too much to the point where I've started unfollowing them because stop it. I never want to be that person. I do not want to annoy people. But also, I don't want you to miss out. There's got to be a fine balance. So maybe I'll just try and use it twice a month. One for the new pattern and then one for one of my lives. Because if I do it weekly, you guys will get annoyed. I don't want that. All right. This is one of those situations where 1/2 inch would have worked better. I probably could have got away with 3/4 of an inch tape, but it'd get dangerously close to the edge. I don't want to do that. So we are going to, even though this is 1 inch, it still works. We're going to put it halfway down the circle because that's my magic where I've decided it should live. This also comes with an SVG file, but I am too lazy, and yes, genuinely too lazy, to unpack my Cricut machine because I've got another demo at Spotlight on Thursday. I have nowhere to put it at the moment, so it would take a lot of effort to pull it out. So I just did it by hand. But that is going to be cute. Even though it's wider, it's still cute. So for those that don't want or don't have 1/2" hardware, it's totally fine. You can make this without it. Now, this is one of those times where you actually want to go really, really slowly. And maybe have slightly shorter stitch length. Not gonna lie, smaller stitch length would have made this way cooler. But too late now. We forge on. Still looks good. Just gotta go slower. So for those that weren't here yesterday, I have decided to do a fundraiser. I really, really want the laser that does the bag hardware, right? It's going to benefit you guys because I'll teach you how to do it, but also because I'll be able to offer it to people that want awesome bag hardware and don't want to pay like for 100 at a time. But the machine's like $8,000, which I don't have. So I thought we could do a fundraiser for it. See that? Fabulous. It's strong because we've got the base stabilizer. I'm also looking at it now. I'm like, it needs rivets because rivets are fun. So I'm going to put one up here in the center and I'm going to put one down here and be fabulous. But we'll do that later. It's totally fine. Where is my other swivel clip? Because it's not in here, which is just rude. I must have touched it. I did. I touched it and put it in the tub. It's fine. Chop and chop. I think I've forgotten to cut a piece. I'm just thinking about it now. Pretty sure I forgot to cut the strap connector piece. Oh wow. We'll just have to do it. I'm leaving here without the sticker because I don't want it to gather dirt, grime and crap in there. Not that you'll ever see it, but I'll know. So we don't want that. So I'm gonna I probably should have done it that way, but that's all right. So scooch it on. A 1" is obviously easier to get on than the 1/2" because you've got to squish it more, but you know, you'll be fine. You can also use 3/4 inch. Just make the gap 3/4 inch. Like we were discussing yesterday with everyone's favorite hardware size. Do what you want. I am not the boss of you, despite what you may think and despite how bossy I am. Ah! Whoops. Whoopsies. Come back here. Alright, so we're halfway along the circle and then we're going to fold it up and join the circle, join the diamond, I guess it is. Technically I made an angled square, but we can call it whatever we want. It shall be fabulous. So even though that's 1", I did not change the size of the circle. So it's designed for a 1.5" strap, but the 1" looks just as fine. So don't be overly worried. Also, after our little I use studs yesterday, I went and found them in other colors. So I will be ordering those. I went on a bit of down a rabbit hole. So I've also been looking up things called conchos. I went to AliExpress. It's always a good place to find cool stuff. So on AliExpress, I have found some really funky conchos. I actually found one that matches my Buffalo Bill horror fabric. So I'll be buying that. I don't even know what bag I'm going to make, but they usually come in packs of 5 for about $5. So they work out to around $1 each if you are interested. So I'm going to start buying all of these random things and inspire you to use them because why not? And because everything extra is always fun. So again, why not? Chop. Chop. Oh my gosh, all the threads. Okay. So again, I will put studs, but we'll do it at the end or later or whatever I decide to do. Let's grab our base and side pieces. So I do highly, highly recommend that you put bag foam on these. This will hold the shape of the bag. I promise. We're going to go back down to a more joiny stitch length. How's that for a very professional word? Joiny. But let's be honest, I am not known for my professionalism. It's not why you're here. Other side, so we put the bottom edge along the base. Now, if you want to, you can actually make this one whole piece. If you have a non-directional fabric, instead of cutting the 3 pieces, you take away the seam allowance and just cut one continuous piece. I like it like this because of the sides, and but if this was a plain fabric, you could just make one long piece and be done with it. It is an option for you to consider. Now, because this is going to sit up weird, I'm actually going to cut out the bag foam from the seam allowance because it's going to get in my way. Theoretically, it should have stuck, but if you try hard enough, you can pull it off. So this is just bag foam on vinyl. There's no extra interfacing. Just the bag foam is enough for the type that I use. Now, I understand different people have access to different stuff. This is the Birch Shape to Create. At Spotlight, it is $27 a meter. I actually had to buy a meter because I was waiting for my roll. My roll showed up yesterday afternoon. So the day after, I ended up giving in and buying some because that's just life. But it's here now, so now I can go back to making. I really want to make an Empress. So that's coming. With all the add-ons. Love Empress. Hello, Patty. Welcome, welcome. So I'm just going to flatten it out with my fingers, and then we're going to stitch 1/8 of an inch on each side. If you want to, you can change your stitch length. I am not overly worried. This thread is way too thick anyway, so I'm like, may as well just roll with it. Now, sometimes when you flatten them out like this, sometimes you can see through the seam. If you have that problem, I'm going to show you how to fix it. If you ever, so when you stitch it and then top stitch, sometimes you can like see light through this seam. It's probably a tension issue. I wouldn't think too much over it. Instead, what I would do is you fold both sides towards the center of the bag. So that in this case, the center of the base, you would fold it over and then top stitch both sides. But you do have to go slower, and I'll show you, because one side will now be higher than the other, and it is quite easy to fall off, fall off the seam. One side's easier than the other. The lower one's usually the easier side. But if you need to go slower because your machine doesn't like to have a crooked foot. Now, this walking machine doesn't really notice it because it's heavy duty and that wasn't that much of a difference. But on the green machine, I would have to be a lot more careful because it will try and veer off. But now that I've sewed it down, you won't be able to see through that seam. So for those having that problem, fold it towards the center, always towards the center. So you can do it either way. And from the outside, it hasn't affected what I've done. It still looks nice. So it doesn't matter that I did different ones. I'm so glad You are on. I realized the memory bear I am making stalled 2 different eyes. Oh, whoopsies. I mean, could it have different colored eyes though? Does that matter? That sounds fun. That sounds like a happy accident to me. I can definitely think of worse problems. Installing the eye in a nipple placement, that would be a problem. Though I would then turn that into like a horror bear. That would be an unhappy accident. But different colored eyes is not so bad. What bit do I want to do next? I've kind of placed them all together. What I need is the strip. I haven't cut it. I can see that. It's fine. We'll do it later. So, with the... Also, if you purchase this pattern, it does give you the basis to do a divider pocket in any bag. Just so you guys are in fact aware. I am trying to find... Not that. I'm trying to find the slip pocket. I have plans. So I'm gonna... These two are for the divider pocket because they've got my hefty. So the Vilene 1050F, which is a heavy interfacing. And then all the other pieces have a medium, which is clearly a lot softer. Can you see the difference? Because I can. I can feel it too. So those 4 are for that. These are also for that. So that's all together. That's not what I'm looking for though. This is my slip pocket. So you can see I fussy cut them right in the middle. These are my main different size pupils. Aww. I should have one more. Where is it? Oh my gosh. No, that and that. Okay, there we go. I get there eventually. There's lots of pieces of the same size, but with different interfacing, so it's fine. So this is a cotton that was also sent to me. It is a rainbow Sugar Skull Girl. I really do think that it matches quite nicely. Is this bag going to be very busy? Yes, yes it is. But, should be fine. There's nothing wrong with a busy bag. Some people like it. Some people don't want a plain inside. I hate that before I could sew, you'd go to buy a bag and it was a solid color on the outside and then beige on the inside. I never understood why they felt the need to constantly do beige. It's boring. So I tend to try and steer away from boring unless it's requested. Because some people like simple. And I get that. I'm clearly just not one of them. I love a busy bag. See? Especially with the Sugar Skulls. I feel like I'm onto something here. So, because I feel like it, and this is a slip pocket, and the seam allowance doesn't really matter, I'm going to do 3/8 of an inch. Mainly just because I like the middle line. If you're struggling to sew straight lines, you should get one of these, and you just put it lined up like that, and then you can just push the fabric against. You can actually sew faster. I mean, I can sew that fast anyway, but they can be quite handy. Don't dismiss the magnet. It's not cheating, and it's not you're a bad sewer if you use it, because I feel like you wouldn't consider me a bad sewer, and I use it all the time. All right, open. I always like to finger press that flat, because even though this is not waterproof canvas, now that I pinch it over, it always sits nicer. This would also potentially be a nice spot to put piping if you had the right kind. You can also just finger press it in place, like whatever's floats your boat. I'm gonna just loosen my tension a little bit because this thread is thicker than normal. I didn't buy this, it came with the machine. I love that magnet for chain sewing. See? Light colored linings are supposed to make it easier to find things in your bag. And I'm sure that is actually true, but it's boring. I can deal with light, but make it pretty. I don't know. Obviously no one's ever looked for something in my bags. So, pretty slip pocket. And then the back piece, I went with the corresponding basket weave because I am trying very hard not to buy fabrics or linings or vinyls or too much hardware, even though I know for a fact, we both know that I'm going to get off here and go and actually purchase more of those studs. But they're not very expensive. They're like $5 for 100. So I can totally justify that. And I can't just not buy anything because that's less inspirational. And now that I don't do hardware, I'm going to start buying all of the random things to encourage you to buy all of the random things. Anyway, so this is our front slip pocket. I also need to put on a tag. And I've just remembered now. So I need to decide, do I want it on the slip pocket or do I want it on the zip pocket on the back? And that will ultimately depend. Right, so I can already tell you I don't want it here. And can anyone in the class tell me why, which piece I want to put it on and why? I'm not actually going to wait for an answer. We want to put it on this one because the middle of this only has 3 girls. So I would essentially cover her face. So we're going to put it on this piece so that it's not going to cover the face, which means I have to unclip everything I just did. What's the difference between studs and rivets? Some studs you can get with the screw back. So studs, I'm getting studs because they're pointy. So studs are pointy and rivets are smooth, mostly. But you can also get what's called a Chicago screw, which is a screw in back for a stud, or there's just different ways to put it in. So a rivet is the smooth cap that we're using to join things. Studs are pointy, more for like punk stuff. And I've got the rivet studs, but you can also get screw-in studs. So if you don't want to have to buy the squishy thing, die set, oh my god, squishy thing, the die set like I did for the other machine, you can in fact just get your like mini screwdriver and screw them all in. If you're going to do that, please get an electric one or you are going to get carpal tunnel from all the screwing of all the stuff. I put in nearly 50 studs yesterday, and manually screwing like this for 50 studs would have hurt my wrist. I don't get arthritis or anything, but I promise it would have hurt me if I had to do 50 of them. And I plan on buying more. So I got the ones that you can do in a press, but if you want taller, more pointy studs, those are going to have to be screws because I've been looking them up all last night. In my cart is like $200 worth of potential stuff, and then I have to whittle it down because I'm not buying it all. You also have to be careful if you're going to buy gold and make sure that it's the gold that matches the hardware you've got. You don't want yellow gold studs with light gold hardware or vice versa. So you just need to keep that in mind too. Grabbing a ruler. Double-sided tape on the back. Even though this is iron-on, I'm just not getting up to do that. I do love these though. I use these so much. So these I made on my laser. This is laser engravable leatherette. So I've got it black with silver and black with gold. You can also get brown that goes black, blue that goes silver, red that goes black, and red that goes gold, I think. Comes in a bunch of different colors. I'm sticking with black for now. And I'm gonna go up 2.5 inches, that's what I tend to do, which pretty much puts her in line with the faces. So that's 2.5 inches up. Stick it down. Hi, Tammy. Make sure it's level. Then again, we're going to pull that back and just top stitch around. Do, 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 do. Pivot. Whoa, easy, Tiger. I understand that I'm talking to myself right now. It was me that put my foot down too hard, but it's fine. We're going to pull it through and tie it off because it's prettier on something like this. Rymax also does plastic ones that you can cut with the laser. I am getting more. It's on my list. I'm paying the invoice today, hopefully. I also think I'm going to get a new piece for my ragga brush because trying to cut with the broken one, it's got too many broken sections to make it quick. I mean, it's still quicker than measuring every rectangle, but it's no longer quick to cut out my ragga brush. And I do want to make some more cool ones like the one we made yesterday on the live because that was a fantastic bag. I just can't advertise it on my Facebook group because I don't have access, and it's slowly making me angrier and angrier. I sent an email, nobody's gotten back to me. I've tried to find help on the Facebook, but it just keeps, like, you click on stuff to try and get somewhere and it's just sending me in circles. I can't go to the business manager help because I no longer have a business page according to them. So I'm just screwed 7 ways from Sunday, really? Isn't that pretty? I know it looks crooked. It's not. I checked. It's not crooked if I put it down. See? It just, when it floats, it looks crooked. Whatever. Right, now we'll go back to putting this along the edge. This thread is absolutely too thick for this bag, but it's probably going to give it more of like a chunky punk look. But I refuse to sit here and fight with bonded polyester. Couldn't pay me enough. I mean, you could, I suppose, but nobody's paying me, so I'm not doing it. All right. You don't have to use clips, but I like to because clips are awesome. And then we're going to, oh no. Yeah, it's going to be one of those days. This barely happened yesterday. I can already tell it's going to be one of those days. Oops. Whatever. What's my favorite thread? Bonded nylon, not bonded polyester. I find bonded polyester unravels itself quicker than bonded nylon, and I like an M40, which is the equivalent to Tex 70. Bonded nylon M40 is what you get in Australia, and in America it's a Tex, not an M. And the lower the M number, the thicker the thread, and the higher the Tex number, the thicker the thread, because that's fun. I don't know why we have to be backwards here, but anyway. So I get my bonded nylon thread from Weidman Threads, or Sunkist Melbourne has an M60. So if you don't have an industrial machine like this, the M60 you can get for like normal sewing machines, like domestics and semi-industrials, like your Juki little, not the big Jukis like this, but like the portable Jukis, you could use an M60. No, wait, yeah, which is Tex 45, I believe. Anyway, that's one piece done. I'm so proud my brain remembers all of this. But bonded nylon is absolutely my favorite. I have got a few from like AliExpress to try them out. They haven't been great. So this right here is an AliExpress one. It's like 210 denier, so 210D, which doesn't help me in the slightest because they got their own measurements. But when I cut it, it doesn't unravel, which I appreciate. Like, it does a little bit, but not so much. Now, I haven't sewn with it because I haven't had a rainbow bag to do it with, but I feel like that's coming within the next month. We're going to do something, a Care Bear. Oh, the killer Care Bear with the knife. And then we'll do rainbow thread. See? You asked me a question, it inspires another idea. My brain's a nightmare to be in. Alright, so we need our little 2 small. So this is literally, where was it? There. So this was a Tory pocket that I then cut in half. Easiest way to cut this out. Rather than cutting 2 pieces, Tory pocket and cut it in half. 1-inch ruler. This is why this is so handy. And the 14-inch one you get from Spotlight, in my opinion, is just too long. gets in the way. Right. Now you could do 1 inch in all directions. I'm doing 3/4 because that's my favorite number to do. But I'm not the boss of you. If you just wanted to do 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, by all means go ahead. I also have a sneaking suspicion the top accent I've cut the wrong size. I reckon I did. Hello, Sandra. I made something for you in your package yesterday. It's my turn to send a package to Sandra because we are package pals, which is super fun. Basically, I did have a list. If you wanted to be a package pal, there's a list in my Facebook group, and you basically find someone from a different country, and you guys send packages back and forth. So sometimes Sandra sent me my beautiful ring, which I am wearing, and I love this. It is amazing, and I haven't been able to mentally top it because she got me custom jewelry, which I am so obsessed with. I haven't been able to top that yet, so that's why I haven't sent her a package, because I can't think of anything as cool or cooler. So she's not getting a package until I come up with something that is as cool as a custom ring. But I did make something for her package. I mean, you don't have to make stuff. Sometimes you can just send different supplies that you can get in your area. Like, I send Sandra a lot of, like, Inklings in the Kraken printed vinyls because she's Australian and she has very custom prints. And so you can't get it in America. So I send her stuff like that. But she made me a custom ring. I can't get over it. It is amazing. And I currently can't mentally beat it. So she hasn't got a package yet. It's not I know it's not a competition, right? But it has to be like a fair trade. It's not a competition, but I have to come up with something equally as cool. It doesn't have to be cooler, but equally as cool, which I have not yet mentally done, which is why you haven't got a package. And you can only wear the expensive jewelry. So it's not like I could make you a cool little custom necklace because I don't have the ability to laser engrave sterling silver at the moment. So I can't reciprocate that because you can't wear stainless steel jewelry. Which is where we circle back. Am I insane? Abso-freaking-lutely. But seriously, you got me a custom ring and it is epic. The stitch bag was cool. For anyone that doesn't know, I made her a stitch bag and then I did piping that was a light up like cording. It was very cool. But not as cool as a ring. So while I'm not in competition with you, I would like to reciprocate with something equally as cool. And I just have not come up with anything yet. I'm going to stick this down because life is easier when it doesn't freaking move. I'm going to get it right on that edge so that it stays where it's told. Like that, so it's beautiful. The embroidered vinyl turtle. It'll be in like a random box somewhere. Yeah, see, I could make you a whole bunch of panels, but that's still not as fun. Am I being ridiculous? Yes. Yes, I am. Do I care? Not in the slightest. Alright. I'm going to put a clip there and there because that is the best way to do those bits. So now I've got this and I don't have any zipper tape. So, let's get the box. I have tubs, and I can show you this because why not? I have tubs, and each tub has zipper tape with the different colored teeth. So that if I'm using gunmetal hardware, I can go to the gunmetal teeth and pick a choice. as cool as that is, I got it for Beetlejuice, but as cool as that is, we're gonna go with this. Because black's boring, grey doesn't suit, there is no dark blue, the green, no. I don't have a lot, so this is one of the lesser colours, like lesser stores of colours, because I don't use it as often. You could also just use non-coloured tea, so the whole lot would be red, but again, not as fun. Actually, so instead of pulling from the outside, if you grab it from the inside, you can just slide it out. It's like a ball of wool. You pull from the inside, not the outside. So we need that much zipper tape. Not those, oh no, it has to be those scissors. The other ones are MIA. These scissors are too big. I bought them, I thought they were cool. They kind of are cool, but they're too big. Too big to function, not a fan. Alright. So my fancy zipper pull will go on the top. So this one's just going to have a normal chunky monkey. Oh, I got a little bit of sun. Did you all see that? Just got a little bit brighter. The sun is peeking through one of the clouds for the next 20 seconds, probably, and it's gone again. Not even 20 seconds. I'm fairly sure that my shed flooded again last night, so I'm just ignoring it entirely. I'll worry about it when the rains are gone. And then I'm gonna go get one of those like squeegee floor things to get all the water out, because there is about that much in there at the moment. But all the things on the floor can get wet without drama, so it's fine. All right, I'm gonna put that there and put that there. Yoink. And we want the zipper closing to the left. If you want, you can put some double-sided tape under there to hold it in place. Whatever floats your boat. I mean, we have all this double-sided tape, we may as well use it. But also, I'm impatient, I just want to get to the sewing part, so I'm not going to. The main thing is we want to try and have that as steady as possible. I'm going to get to right near that and then zip it up, because that'll make that sit nicer for the stitching. It's not even about moving it so you don't hit it, it's so that the zipper tape isn't wonky donkey. See, isn't that so cute? So cute. Anyway. We're going to grab this and attach it to all four sides. We do not need to leave the bottom of this open or anything. We will turn the bag through the interior Tory pocket. That's really fun to say, the interior Tory pocket. You should say it out loud, it's fun. And again, I'm aware I'm insane, okay? It's fine. And we do this now because it's easier to fold it back without having that top piece on. There is method to my madness, I promise. I've made other ones where this is like tricky to do. So if you do it in this order, it's way easier. Is this marked? Is this for the marked in May? The market. Yes, it is for the market. Unless it sells first. I am still putting everything on my website because I did see that one of you beautiful viewers actually wanted to own a Tory bag in America. So the other skull one I made in the video for the release of this pattern has been sent to America. Just so cool. So I am making them for the market in May, but also just for my website. They're getting back to me soon. They're just working out the size of the stalls and stuff. I will be getting a 3x3 because I plan on having aprons as well as bags, as well as laser engraved stuff. So I'm gonna have like a mountain of stuff with me. So this is the troll. Sandra, we're making the new pattern in Alive because I love it. And theoretically, I'm gonna make it like the pattern says, although I'm really not promising any such things. But it will mostly be like the pattern says, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll do something different, but, you know. Things just inspire me. Like, I've already changed it to a 1-inch strap length instead of 1.5, but it'll still work the same. I like these kind of zippers. We should do more of them. I say we, but I have no idea what you guys are sewing. You might just be here to listen to my Aussie accent. Who knows? I'm cool with it either way. Thank you for joining me in the first place. Also, Mother, when I do finally get access to my Facebook page, I'm going to make you an admin. Purely so if I ever get locked out again, you can let me back in. Because this is getting outrageous and I'm very annoyed. Hello, Hand-Dyed Stitcher. Beautiful. Now, we have to check because I have a sneaking suspicion I cut the wrong side. I did. See that? See, these are meant to match. I cut the wrong size. I thought I might have. It was on my brain. I did. So what we're going to do, first we're going to flip that over so it's actually flat. So my Facebook group I have access to, but my Facebook page where I try and like sell the finished products, I have been kicked out by a Facebook help person, and then they made me reapply to get access back, and now it's just silence. So I don't really know what to do about that. Quite the frustrating endeavor. All because I was trying to link it back to Shopify. So I don't know what to do. These should be the same size now. What? Alright. I know that's a bit curly. So if you wanted to, you could add a piece of stabilizer if you wanted that less dodgy. But once we add everything else, I think you'll find it'll be fine. That's really cool. I like it. And then if you wanted to, you could add like a little thing, little charm to the zipper. If I had a better laser, I would laser a girl's head like this onto it. Future world problems. Future world problems. I love the troll and I love the trollop. So, fun fact, all of the changes we did to troll, you can then add the flap from trollop as well if you wanted to. You can just add the flap back into it. So it's got the flap gone, and then it's got like the zippered top and all those, like the divider pockets. So you could do all of the original stuff. No, sorry, all of the stuff from Troll, but then bring back the flap if you wanted to. I should do one like that. I'll add it to my list. I'm dressmaking at the moment and wanting to make bags, but must do what you need to do. Yeah, that's true. All right, so we can't build it yet because I don't have, you know what's just occurred to me? If I do the way the troll says, where I put that strip, we're gonna cover up the girls. And so the whole point of fussy cutting is just gone. I don't think I want to do that anymore. Oh, my brain just had a really ridiculously cool idea, but I don't have time. I don't want to cover her up. So the troll now has a piece that goes all the way around and looks fabulous. But on this bag, it won't look fabulous. So we're not doing it. So we're changing our mind. Again, shocker. In which case, because I'm not doing that anymore, we can build the outside. You have to alter your patterns to suit the fabrics you've got. Don't be afraid to deviate from a pattern. I told you I wouldn't stick to the original. I can't help myself. It won't work. Now, this pocket does go all the way to the bottom. that's kind of designed like that. You don't even have to sew the bottom because we're going to sew it into the seam. It'll be fine. Creativity on the fly. I mean, I feel like that's all I ever do in videos. Live videos, all I ever do is change my mind halfway through. It'll be worth it though, so just stick with me on this. If I do it the way I wrote the pattern, you'll lose the point of fussy cutting the sides. So it would have literally been a waste of so much fabric. And I don't want to do that. We work towards our corner and then we treat it like a 3D object and push it in like this. Now you'll get some bubbles. That's totally normal because we're trying to squish it in. Where we don't want the bubbles is as far in as the seam allowance. So the bubbles need to be on the outside of the seam allowance, and funnily enough, these clips clip 1/2 inch in. So long as the bubbles are on the inside of the clip and not further past it, you are good to go. If you don't like doing this, you can cut off like 1/4 inch from the top and you'll get less bubbles. But depending on the fabric, sometimes you can cut too much and then you get bubbles in the straight bit. Alright, so that looks like it won't fit, right? I know it does. But hold it like a 3D object. Squish it down. Line up the raw edges. And look at that. With one clip, it now fits. You gotta trust the process. See? Alright. You could also add piping in this seam, if you have a love of piping. Me and piping have a love-hate relationship. I do love it, but it hates me. I still do it, but you know, it's extra fiddly. And I don't have any piping to match this bag at the moment. That's mainly why I'm not currently doing it. So then what you want to do is you want to turn it out and make sure that your corners are pretty. So even though it looked like it didn't fit, look at that. It's beautiful. There's no bubbles. There's no anything. Check both. I'm fairly confident I got it good. See, look, nice curve. Again, we need a Tory squish, but we get the point, right? It hasn't pinched anywhere, and that's what we were looking for. Almost midnight. Oh, I love it. You're sewing troll with me. That's so cool. Goodbye, Miranda. I hope you have a wonderful time at your appointment. Or if it's a crap appointment, I hope it's quick for you. If all. Not all appointments are fun. Dentist appointments aren't fun when they tell me I have to drink less fizzy drink. Good luck with that. Yoink. My whole brain is just one big creativity. It's a problem though, because then I have to prioritize which, you know, random idea I want to do first. So after this bag, I have to make a custom rainbow dolphin bag, which is going to be awesome. And it's for the customer I currently can't contact, so I don't really know what to do about that. Do I just make another Facebook page and start again? I only had 4,000 followers on it. It's not like there's that many. And then I could send out an email to all of my subscribers letting them know I have a new page. Like, I could do it. It's just more work. Not fun, but thanks. Then I hope it goes super quick and you get out of there in record time. Squish the bag. It won't hurt it, I promise. He'll be fine. No, wait a bit. They might help you. I've waited like a week. I don't know how much longer I have to just be without it. It's not fun. Alright, so what we are going to do is I want none of those scissors. Is it ridiculous? I have scissors for certain things. They're too big, I'm likely to cut a stitch. They're not strong enough for the thick layers. The zigzag scissors might work. I don't have a lot of faith in it though. Hey Tracy. Sometimes with foam, it's too thick for my little zigzaggies. But, you know, who knows? You definitely want to cut down at the top here. Especially if you're on a domestic machine, do not skip this step. It removes the bulk, makes your life easier when we have to top stitch later, because we will be top stitching later. Oof. See, this side's going to suck because we've got that slip pocket, so it's got all that extra vinyl. So I'm not even going to try with the zigzag scissors. Just from experience, I know not to bother. We can try these ones, but I'm really paranoid I'm going to break something because they're so big and chunky. I mean, it actually didn't turn out too bad, but still, paranoia was there. Oh, now my hands hurt. So the other reason you should do this as you go is because it does make your hands hurt. So you can like start and stop and stop and stop. I know it doesn't look like it because it's still a bit floppy there, but the bag will sit fine. I promise. We just gotta wait. And before we go any further, I need some scraps. Ooh. Welcome to my scrap top. This is where I have all of this glorious small crappy pieces that I refuse to throw out because one day I am going to cut. I have a plan for them. Like this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but it is fabulous. So something. And the rain just started again. But the reason I'm in here is because I want a scrap of black basket weave because I only need it to be like 1 1/4 inches long by about 6 inches. Ooh, what was that? IKEA hardware. What? Oh look, it's a zipper. I mean, there's plain black, which would also work. I mean, some of these are not as scrappy as you'd think. That's not big enough to make any kind of handbag, but it will make some fabulous accents on a trolley. Oh, that'll do. I also didn't put the corner accents on, mainly because I didn't want to lose the fabric, right? The fabric is pretty, so we just left it. Alright, so we want, because I use 5/8 of an inch D-rings, it is literally double my little ruler here, which is 1 1/4 inches wide. So this works out great. And that's how much I need. Hello, my fabulous pen. Why have you got sticky tape on you? Oh, maybe I'm running out of ink. Maybe I used it too much. Is that a thing? Probably the thing. It's alright. Oh, I will just have to get a refill. Right, so that's going to do, that little piece there, this is why I don't throw this away. That little piece there is going to do both of the D-ring attachments. So they're going to stick up from the side of the bag because I refuse to cover the pretty vinyl. Took me a long time. It wasted a lot of fabric to fussy cut them. I am not then going to just go and cover them up. That's ridiculous. No deal. Yoink. I bought myself a stainless steel bracelet the other day. It looks like a zipper that's opened, except it doesn't stay closed, which I just think is outrageous. So I'm going to have to bend it so it does. Alright, rubbish. Fold it into the center. So for those that weren't here yesterday, I was encouraging you all to pick one size D-ring and stick with it, because it means you have to have less hardware on hand at any given time. Just because a pattern says a 1-inch D-ring does not mean you have to use it. And it took me multiple years to figure that out, which I know sounds ridiculous because when I say it out loud, it's so obvious, and yet. I'm not back stitching because I have to cut it up anyway. Should be right. So, my favorite, oh, stop it. My favorite D-ring size these days is 5/8 of an inch. It's cute. It looks cute on everything. It's not too big because a D-ring is only there to hook a clip onto. So it doesn't need to be huge. And I just think these are adorable. So they are my now preferred thing. So my patterns will come, all patterns from this point forward will come with the option for these, if you want to follow in my footsteps, or it will have the 3/4 of an inch and 1 inch D-ring size. Because you like what you like. These are 5/8 of an inch or 15 millimeter. If you did want to go and copy me, just totally fine. I'm encouraging you to do so. They are cute on everything, right? Perfect little D-ring. I won't be using them, so don't need them right now. They can go away. And I'm going to put a rivet in these, but again, we're going to do it at the end so that it doesn't get in the way in the meantime. I won't accidentally sew it if it doesn't exist. You can do it at the end, so it'll be fine. So we're just going to take this and find the center. We're going to need it later anyway, so may as well do it now. And then I'm going to put this in there, and that will hold the bag. Do the same to both ends. I know it might seem crazy. I actually think this might be in the original pattern. I don't know. I don't pay enough attention to my own stuff. Not gonna lie. Another option you could have, by the way, is with the side panels, you could just put it on there and stitch it into the seam before you join the pieces. There's so many things. See, the quest pattern needs to happen. So actually, while I've got 62 of you here, what bag shape, so I'm going to do a choose your own adventure bag. I keep talking about it, so it should just be my next pattern and I should get onto it. So the question becomes, what kind of bag should we do it for? So it'll be a choose your own adventure in the fact that it'll have different attachments, different handles, different pockets on the inside, all these different options, but I need a base shape to work with. Like, should I do it like Emu, where it's a bit kind of boxy? Because then I could do like a boxy bottom or an inserted bottom. Or do you want it more like the Vixen, which is more handbaggy? Or do you want it more like, not a backpack. We're not doing a backpack. Not for a choose your own adventure. Or do you want like a messenger bag with a flap? Alright, there we go. You're going to increase the size by 1 inch and make the zipper panels recessed. Love that for you. The inside's now done, well the outside's now done. We can set that aside. Let's make all the insides. I'm going to start with the Tory pocket because I like the Tory pocket and I don't have to think about it because I've made so many of them. I've easy made over 100 Tory pockets in my life, like easy. I could almost do it with my eyes closed if I didn't have to see the lines, which I haven't even drawn on here. Good job, me. Messenger or Vixen style? bit of dry lines on because I either did it and then because I've ironed it. So maybe I did it in an erasable ink. Feels very like something I would have done. See, 1-inch ruler. This thing is awesome. It does not come in my pack of 3 rulers. This is a different ruler. And yet still totally worth it. Ooh, that's an interesting song to pop into my head today. It is, oh my god, what's his name? It was called Sweat. Andre. Peter Andre. There we go. That is not the line. Idiot. That's the line. There we go. Should have drawn it darker, is my conclusion to the moment. Jezebel or Empress? See, I could do a tote style. We could do a tote. Jezebel's fun. Jezebel will be quite fun to do a choose your own adventure. Oi! See? Scissors don't like layers. These are my favourite scissors, but they really don't like layers. So rude. You know I haven't even brought my iron inside. I don't use my iron anymore. I have gone back to cutting out the interfacing and using the heat press because it's just easier with my space at the moment. I agree with Karen. Messenger or Vixen style. I want to do like a squarer version of Vixen, so that's coming regardless. These corners are going to give me crap. Call me crazy, but that actually works what I just did there. It's like instead of finding my iron. I've got a mini iron somewhere, but don't know where that is either. You can get fairly far with finger pressing, not gonna lie. This will work out fine. I wouldn't do it if the bag was gonna look ugly at the end of it. It's just probably for the more advanced, like beginners shouldn't do this. Boy, I am slow. I'm watching and didn't realize you were live. That's awesome. When I don't do lives, I am much more kind of focused on what we're doing. Whereas when I'm live, I like to actually chat with you because I assume that's why you're here. Ask me questions. I get to ask questions. You guys can help in the designing process. Yoink. Fabulous. Line it up at the edge. There she goes. Over we go. Cut that off because it's in my way. Thing with a messenger bag, right? A messenger bag can be more unisex, whereas a handbag is pretty much for women. So I could do like a larger messenger bag because the original of this, the trollop, is pretty much a mini messenger. And then the kangaroo is a slightly bigger messenger. But I could do like a really big one that fits like a laptop and stuff. Can't wait to make this one. I'm getting ready for a show. Have like 6 bags cut out. Ah, I like this pattern. Next up, actually, this week, I'm going to try and cut out a Harridan because you guys need to love Harridan more. It's very on trend at the moment. I saw somebody's releasing a very similar pattern in the coming week. And I'm like, oh, people just don't know I have that. Or a crossbody. Yeah. It sounds like that because it doesn't like thin fabrics. This is much more of a let's do all the thick stuff. What I should do in a perfect world, if I wanted to do like the best ever, I would do all of the lining sewn on the green machine and then all of the joining done on this. It can do it. I just kind of have to hold it steady. Not that I can't do it. It's that I won't. All right, let's do the big fun dividery bit and all of my pieces. I mean, we're getting there. We've done the strap and the exterior. They're the main walls. That's my zipper top. Fussy cut that one too, as best as I could with what I had. This, let's do this. That way. Not that it matters, but like it might. These ones don't matter because I remember cutting these all over the place. But just got to make sure they're up the right way is the main concern. We're going to chainsew it because it's easier. Harridan. So Harridan is a small bag about this big. And then one side of it has 12 card slots. It's got like a zipper section and it kind of opens like this. But I'm going to change it so it opens like this. We're going to do a alteration video. And then the other side is a zipper section. And then the outside, it's got a glasses pocket, which you could easily remove if you don't like it and do a slip pocket instead. Then the other side's got a little slip pocket with a flap. Yeah, Harridan. So it's just one of my patterns, and I made it ages ago, and it turns out that you guys overlook it because the pattern front page has a brown bag. So the ladies were telling me yesterday that they just overlook it because it's an ugly picture. So I need to update the picture and make a bunch, and it's on my list. Because I think a bunch of them in like cool punk stuff with studs all over them would be epic. All right. These are my now divider pockets. So, fun fact, to add a divider pocket to any pattern, you take the total of this, divide it by 2, and then add 1/2 inch to both pieces so that it will end up being the original size. And that way you can fit your divider pocket in. It is a bag with a wallet built in, yes. It's got a little shoulder strap. Mum, if you're still around, can you go and look up the Harridan pattern and send a link to the lovely people? Holy crap, the rain's coming down. Hi, rain! And I'm probably going to flood again. You know what? Doesn't even matter. I'm not out there. It doesn't affect me. We're fine. We're totally fine. Everything's fine. Chop! We just need one more piece and then... Ooh. Can you guys hear that? Seems like a lot. Nope, that's crooked. Yeah, it is crazy rain. It's been like this it's been raining every day for like a week. It is why I moved into the house. My room officially flooded, but it hasn't damaged anything because the floor was sealed with my glitter gloriousness. And everything that sits on the floor is either a plastic wheel or a metal frame that's been, covered or coated or whatever. So nothing on the floor is going to get damaged. And all of my fabrics are over here in this mess. So they're all inside. All my stuff is not going to get damaged. The only thing I left out there was all my templates. And instead of closing the solid door, I've got that open and I've closed the wire door so that the air can freely flow in and out so that it doesn't go moldy and stuffy. I have done all the things that I can do to make it as best as I can. And I am wondering, should I just stay in here? It is beautiful lighting. I don't even have my overhead light on because I have glass from here all the way. One day I'll show you guys. So I'm wondering, should I just get my husband to allow me to stay here? I could essentially block off, right here, there's a pole. So I could use this pole as a halfway point in the room and just have all of my racking there as a faux wall. But it also will encourage me to have less stuff. Because less stuff means easier to keep clean, which means less likely to be sent back to the shed. Not that I don't love my shed and my glitter falls, but it is nice to be inside because I can get a lot more stuff done. Whoop, that missed. Oh, try that again. There we go. Chop. So I do love my outside space, but especially with all this rain, I don't want to, when I go out there, yesterday when I was running in and out trying to find my dye box, the water was this deep on my stepping stones. So I had to fold my pants up and then splash through it all. No, I don't need more stuff. But here's the thing. So as soon as that apron pattern shows up, I think you'll find that I am going to smash through so much fabric because those aprons take about 2.5 meters per apron, which is why they cost so much. There's so much fabric. So my plan is to make all the aprons and that'll get through all the tubs of fabric. And then I can just have less on hand, which will be easier to store. And it'll mean with less on hand, it means I get to do more frequent buying. So if you see something that I buy, you'll actually be able to get it instead of it's been in my stash for 2 years and good luck trying to find it. So it will work in your favor for me to have less fabric on hand. Because if you want it, you'll still be able to get it. It won't be discontinued. Well, the problem is I can't keep all the stuff in the shed because that's the bit that's it smells slightly musty in there at the moment. So I'm not going back in there anytime soon. Great way to find the halfway point. You melt a little slit. So I used to do a retro apron pattern. It is Quick Sew pattern number 172. There is a video way back. If you go through all my older videos, there's a video of it. But when I've moved so many times, I lost the pattern. So I had to purchase it again, which annoyed me, but what do you do? So it's in the mail, it's on the way. When it gets here, I am gonna use it and do stuff and make aprons, especially for the market coming up. I'm gonna do some horror ones, and because I've got blood spatter stuff. And I'll make some cutesy ones, and I have a crap ton of licensed fabric, so that'll be a good way to use it up. I love that trick for the zips. It's great, isn't it? I love my thread zapper. You can go back. I did a video strictly on it somewhere. It's USB rechargeable, and it lasts a really long time. So I also have the other one. I have this one as well. So this one takes a battery, but I find that the battery doesn't last very long before you need another battery. So this is cool too. So you hold your finger and it heats up and it goes red on the end. So this does work, but I like the other one because I don't have to recharge it as often. I think I've recharged it twice since I've had it. It gets just as hot. It also has a screen to tell you how flat or full it is. I'm a fan. And again, USB rechargeable. So you just plug it into your computer for half an hour and it's recharged again. It's not in your filing cabinet. I know, I have been through that thing 5 times. My filing cabinet is probably one of the most organized things in my sewing space. It is, each drawer is a different brand and I have put them in their number order. And yet I have been through it 4 times, assuming I put it back in the wrong spot. It's not in there. So I've bought it again. It cost me $20-something for a pattern I already own, but so be it. I want it, it's happening. I also cut my zipper too long, but it won't really matter. So my pattern, so back when fabric was cheaper, the aprons were like $50 each. They're gonna have to be more than that now. I'm gonna have to work out how much they actually cost me. But they are 2 layers of a circle skirt. And then it's got like binding all along the edges. So instead of just folding it under, I put binding along the edge, which looks really cute. I know I use 1 meter of plain fabric for the straps and the binding. It takes a whole meter. And then I need to cut the 2 circle skirts. And we all know circle skirts take more fabric. But I have had several people be like, you should do aprons again. So I'm going to. Because it'll use up a lot of the fabric, which means I can store less. Would you like me to put a pic of the apron in the sewing group? I mean, if you want to. But like fabric, I don't know about where you guys live, but where I live at the moment, fabric is about $27 a meter at Spotlight. If it's not on sale. Sometimes it'll go on sale for 30% off, which still makes it, you know, expensive. Which is why I like to put the plain colors as the binding and the straps, because it keeps the cost down. Do, 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 do. They are very cute retro aprons. I do plan on doing them again, only with 2 layers, not the 3. And they'll probably come with like a cute little pocket. And I will make myself a template with my machine. I made myself templates this morning actually. They're wood, so you can't really, it takes longer to go around than if it was acrylic. But I don't have acrylic here and I can't cut clear acrylic, and I really needed the templates because I had cardboard ones beforehand, but they also got damaged in the rain, so I had to throw them out. All the annoying things. So this is essentially like its own little zipper pocket. I thought $18 a meter was bad. Yeah, so like licensed fabrics, $27. Other ones, some that aren't even licensed are up to $27. The cottons, so I mean the price of the aprons will have to be more than $50 because they cost me heaps. I did see online on Etsy somebody sells the same apron that I'm going to do for $135. I will not be charging that much. Not that they're not necessarily worth it, but I'd prefer to sell several of them at a cheaper price than one at the expensive price. Because I would like to move the things. You You don't have to do what I'm doing right now. It just makes it easier. Way easier. So a meter is 100 centimeters and a yard is 90 centimeters, which it's about 4 inches difference. If anybody needs to know that. So a yard is 36 inches and a meter is 40 inches, I think. Evidently, I have a small fortune in my sewing studio and cotton fabrics. Yes, you probably do. I would like the templates here in the US, but the place that had your patterns isn't doing them. I know. I know they're not doing templates anymore. That definitely sucks. I mean, if somebody knows of somebody else in America that does templates, I'd be happy to discuss it with them. But they stopped, which sucks. Yeah, so fabric is expensive. I also have like a glorious, I have hundreds of dollars of fabric sitting there. And I did recently consider de-stashing a lot of it. But now that I'm going to do aprons, it'll all turn into aprons. Like I'll do Mickey Mouse aprons and Winnie the Pooh aprons, and you'll be surprised at what adults want things like that. So I will eventually get through all that fabric. And then the scrap bit, so because it's a circle skirt, there'll be a lot of like littler products made with scraps. So like Harridan, linings for Harridan would probably come out of the rest of the circle skirt thing. Plans, people, all the plans. What have we got? So now, see, because this fabric's directional, I'm going to think about what the hell I'm doing. So the zipper closes that way, which means that has to go there. And then this one goes there, like that. Ha-ha! I also need to find time to get back to our seemingly ugly. I really enjoy making glorious things from the weird fabrics you guys send me. I want to make an emu, actually, out of... Somebody sent me... It's not a kimono, but it's like part of a Japanese ensemble. I shouldn't say costume. It's not costume. Ensemble. And it's like a bright green and orange. And I don't know why, but I just envision an emu. Alright, so this, we're just going to have like a bit above. Now, depending on how fancy you want to get, there is a pattern. And the pattern tells you how high to do it. I'm eyeballing it because I'm me and I designed the pattern. So I had to eyeball it originally anyway. No, I meant, Mum, could you put a link to the Harridan in here? But thank you for that. You know what? I actually think... Hold that thought. We're going to make it a little bit shorter. Am I crazy? Yes, I am. Hi, I'm Tori. I'm crazy. Why am I doing this, you may ask? Well, because a lot of people were concerned that this is too high, so I've just made it a bit shorter. Won't kill anyone. Do, however, need to curve those corners. Now I'll do it as I go. Should be right. In the bin. Let's try again. Do 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 do. Now I gotta figure it out again. All right, there. Right. I have fabric envy. Well, this fabric was sent to me from someone in America. They decided that either I needed to have it more or they just didn't want it anymore. And it's beautiful, and I've been hoarding it. And I have noticed that I have been hoarding things, and so this is me attempting to stop hoarding the fabrics and use the pretty, pretty fabrics. So I have a whole bunch of them that you guys have sent me. I have another Ragabrash. Oh my god, I want to show you. Wait here, I'm going to show you. I have another Ragabrash in mind, and it's going to be epic. So this was also sent to me, and I love it so, so much, and I have been hoarding it, but I have decided that this will be a Ragabrash. Look at it. It's like goth pinup chicks. How epic is that? There's one on here that looks like Rihanna. You know, like the singer? I swear it does. Let me find it to prove that I'm not insane. Does that not look like Rihanna? You know, like the singer? So anyway, this is fabulous. It's like goth pinup chicks. This will be a Ragabrash, much similar to the one we did yesterday. Quite similar with studs and stuff. It's happening. See, it does look like Rihanna. I'm like, so she will be front and center on that front zipper pocket, because why not? Because templates are the bomb, and we do need someone in America to do them. I mean, Brymax can send them, but we run into that same problem of it's expensive for postage. I knew I should have sent the aprons back to you. That's okay. Probably could have pulled one apart to get a pattern, but anyway, too late now. Just so we're all aware, I really hate doing it this way, where I have to put the 3 layers together. I mean, you can send them back if you want them. You can erase the pattern. It's gonna be so pretty. But this is how you do a divider pocket in all bags, if you so desire. Boom, right there. I'm sick of looking at them. I mean, they're cool. Don't be like that. My aprons are glorious. But no, so I also need to go and buy a rack to take to the markets to hang them on. I am also going to use wooden coat hangers and put my logo on them because I'm ridiculous and it's all about like branding. I am trying to rebrand myself to be a little bit more fancy, but I suck at it because I can't digitally design squat. Yeah, we live on the other side of the country to each other. Like, she's south and I'm fairly far north. Yes, I absolutely rev my machine. No, you won't convince me not to do it. It's way too much fun as a former hoon. Hoon being someone that drives like a crazy person. You know, like when people first get their license, they have burnouts and stuff. That is what a hoon is. And I am absolutely a hoon. I mean, I don't speed anymore, but I get from 0 to the speed limit quite quickly. All right. Wait, I feel like I've missed something. This is Troll, which is kind of an alternate reality version to the Trollop, which is one of my older patterns. I also plan on doing I'll do a free, and I'll just explain it to you, alteration on Harridan. And if enough of you want me to, I will write it as a pattern instead of being a free video. So it'll come with all the extra pattern pieces and how to redo it, if that's what you want. Otherwise, I'm quite happy to just do the alterations as a free video and you just come watch it. It's up to you. I understand that we're all broke. But also, some people want the pattern pieces, which I can also appreciate. Oh. So this pattern is on my website. I actually put it on the front page to be extra fancy. See, we now have a divider pocket. Hallelujah. But this pattern, you can just buy. You don't have to buy Trollope and Troll because it's not an add-on. I did redo the whole pattern for you. So if you've got Trollope, you can add a flap to Troll and work reverse. But Troll is a standalone pattern. You don't have to buy Trollope to be able to make this. I did it all from scratchity scratch. So I hope that helps any confusion I might be giving off. So from now on, I will be naming all of my patterns after mythical creatures because there's heaps and I won't have to come up with a new theme for a really long time. And because it'll be fun to have mythical creatures. If I get extra motivated, I might start doing an embroidery design of the name of the bag on the pattern cover because that would be ridiculous. But first I'd have to make sure I could find enough embroidery designs. Like, I'm sure I can find a unicorn easy enough, but something like a griffin, probably a bit harder to find. So anyway, that's my thoughts. So if you've got Trollope, this is a Trollope, but I've added some stuff. Mainly the divider pocket, because I constantly get requests, can you show me how to do a divider pocket? So that's what we're doing right now. But Troll you can buy by itself. You don't have to purchase Trollope because it's not an add-on. It's a separate pattern based off the old one. But it's got a whole bunch of new pattern pieces and stuff. Will you be selling any aprons on your site? I absolutely will be putting everything that I make now goes on my website. I just put up a bunch of the wooden things I've been making. So like the prancing pony sign is now up on the website. The bag that I made yesterday is up on the website. I am going to live vicariously through my website, and as always, I will take custom orders, so I can absolutely do that too. If you want an apron, you can be one of the first ones I make when I get the pattern again. That's not a problem at all. So I will have a custom order section for aprons on the website in the custom order section. But yes, I will be making all the things and everything will go on the website. So like that fabric that I just showed you before, I'm fairly confident there's a 2 or 3 meters. So I will get a ragabrash and I will get an epic apron out of that fabric. And that is my plan. I have a whole tub of like skull, goth, horror-y fabrics. So, and then I've got one of flora and fauna, which is animals and plants. Obviously, that's what flora and fauna means. I've got one whole tub that is license prints, and I have one whole tub that's just miscellaneously other stuff. So my plan is to make aprons from each of my 4 tubs so that I can cover kind of everyone's tastes. And they will go on the website because I sell more at a website than a market. And that will be fabulous. I'm also contemplating doing the kids version so you can get matching mother-daughter ones as well. Because that's fun. Mum has a bunch of my aprons from when she used to have a shop. I sent them down to her. But she closed her shop and still just has the aprons. So Mum's in country Victoria and I'm in far north Queensland. So it's like 2 states away, but don't think American-sized states because our states are huge. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like America versus Australia, but we are almost the same size. We just have less states. We only have 7 and you guys have like 50 something. Your states are smaller. You can drive for a whole day and not exit the state you started in. Just to give you like a comparative moment there. Ow, I just got my finger. Another way you could make this is instead of having all the pieces, you could actually just make the thing this wide and fold it over and stitch it. Also an option that I've just come up with in my brain. See? Choose your own adventure. My brain can do a million different things. Yeah, so I can absolutely do the Harridan as an add-on. I'm going to change the exterior pockets. I'm going to change it so instead of it opening like this, it'll open like this and have those little stoppers like a normal wallet. So that's going to be one of the add-ons. I'll change the outside pockets and I might do some kind of fancy accent for the handle that comes as an SVG file because you guys love SVG files. And I'm getting onto it. Maybe one day I'll have time to go and turn all patterns into SVG files, but please don't hold your breath on that because it takes me a while. I wish I was better at technology. I'm not. I do the best I can. Aww. There we go, 2,433 kilometers. There's a lot of miles, people. It took me, I drove from basically where Mum lives up here. When I moved here, I drove. It was 27 hours. It's a big, far, far away. But, so, okay, while we're all here, go and have a look at my Harridan pattern on my website and then tell me what changes you would like to see and I'll do them. Because as cool as my brain is, sometimes you guys have a better idea than me and I'm okay with that. Like, would you like the main body a bit thicker so it's deeper and you can fit more in it? Or are we happy having it small and little? What kind of exterior pockets would you like to see on it? Like, you know, I am happy to take suggestions. That's like Texas for us. There you go. It's a long way away. On the flip side of that, though, I really do enjoy road trips. It's got to be an Aussie thing. Yeah, Mum flew up here. All right, so this is the bit that confused... Oh, wait, we're not up to that yet. Hold on. Let's do this bit, and then I'll show you the bit that confuses everyone. Yes, it's not a 20-minute drive. It's a 27-hour drive, which you obviously can't do in one day. I did it in... like 2. I was exhausted by the end of it, but I did do it in 2. Huge drive, slept in my car, had the dog with me. We did like 4-hour stopover power naps. I did it in 2 days. By myself with my dog. He was such a good, not Knuckles, a different dog. He was such a good dog. I have noticed that Knuckles has started becoming possessive like the other dog though. Not in an aggressive way, but just he must always be near me. Can a phone fit in the back pocket? I mean, so it was a slide, so you put like your reading glasses in sideways. I could turn it into a phone pocket. My interfacing didn't stick. That's just rude. Yep, so moving the zipper on that side piece, easy. That's one of the definite things I'm doing. And then I'll add those little stoppery bits. You know, those little bits of fabric so that it won't open all the way and flop down and fall everything out. So we'll definitely do that. It's so rude. Why would you not stick? Maybe my iron wasn't hot enough. Oh well. Nothing could be done. Is this one the same? Yeah, okay. Fine. Fine. I just won't use you then. Yoink. Whoa. And she's down. Ugh. I've just realized I've dressed appropriately to the pattern fabric that I'm doing today. So it'll have a wallet. And for a fun little fact for you, the wallet on the Harridan, I don't know if you guys have seen my accordion cardboard that folds the wallet things for like an NCW and stuff. It'll work for Harridan. I designed it like that so that we don't have to have more pattern pieces. Maybe add a zipper pocket or a large slip pocket to the section with the card slots to make it like an attached wallet. Yeah, right. See, won't this be fun? Okay, so do we want the Harridan add-ons first, or do we want me to work on this Quest pattern? The Harridan one will be cheaper, but the Quest will be like a whole bag with a choose your own adventure pockets. Okay, that's that done. I still haven't got the hang of this. Everyone's like, this is so great to fold it over and stitch it, but we're not friends. We're not friends. So I'm just gonna go back to the old way. Yeah, too far. They want it all now. No, I know that, but like, A, my testers have to get tested patterns done. B, I have to write them all. There's limits to my powers, people. Understand I am literally a one-man band doing everything. One-man band, people. I would love to be able to smash out a new pattern every fortnight, but it takes me almost that long to draw the stupid pattern pieces. So there. You know that way. My poor brain really has some issues. So it's a Harridan. We'll take a bit of a vote. Would you prefer the Quest or the Harridan first? And I will go and do that. I've also got another pattern that's mostly done that I need to just kind of finalize, but I have to edit the pattern pieces, and so I'm avoiding it. I won't even lie. I'm absolutely avoiding it. Mum's really cool at crocheting. Did I show you all all of my horror characters that my mum has crocheted for me. I have decided, you know how everybody collects something, and I recently discovered I don't collect anything? I have decided I am going to collect pattern, what are they called? That. Crocheted horror characters. Everyone wants Harridan. Okay, I will do Harridan next. You know, Mum is brilliant at horror. She's made me a whole bunch. So I have Captain Spaulding, who I am obsessed with. I was wearing the shirt yesterday. I also remembered I have another one, so I'm going to put it on her back. I know that's not relevant to what we're doing right now, but whatever. I also got fabric for the lining that's got Captain Spaulding on it. So that bag is going to be epic. I don't suspect it would last long because it's hard to find Captain Spaulding stuff. You should finish the pattern in progress. No, I know. I know I should, but it's hard. I don't think you understand how hard it is. I need to reduce the pattern pieces down to 80% because 100% of the bag is just too big. It's like way too big. Oh no, I ran out of bobbin thread. So rude. Alright, pull that out. Yoink. Oh, now what have I done? No, I was right the first time. There. Okay. I have to use this up, so it's going to be my bobbin thread, which is what I've been using this whole time. This is my bonded polyester that I hate. Hate it. And I couldn't even tell you if it's all bonded polyester or if it's just this particular black that's such a jerk. Oh, it's not even empty anyway. It just snapped. I can't draw to save myself either. You should see my very dodgy versions of when I'm trying to design a pattern. It's the worst. Like, it's a child's stick figure drawing. Like, I'm so bad at it. I just don't care. Because only I need to understand it, because I'm the one designing it. So are you changing the pattern in progress? I don't need to change the pattern. I just need to make it 80% instead of 100, because 80% is huge as it is, and 100% is just ridiculous. It is just too big. So I need to pull it all up, shrink it all down, and then stick it back, and then chop letter size pieces of paper so it's happy for both Australia and America. Yeah, my doodle process is atrocious. It's okay. I do understand. I'm very bad at drawing. I don't have to be good at drawing. I'm good at bag making. I'm good at designing. I'm just not good at communicating my designing. That's all. They're different processes. Like I see fashion designers, how they can draw their beautiful designs that they want. Oh, why? Why? Well, so it'll be Harridan. It won't be an update. It'll be an add-on. So you'll need Harridan original, and then if you don't like that, you'll need all the add-on pieces. Because it has been decided that I must write the pattern. And the reason I charge money for this is because it takes me freaking ages to design a pattern. Now do you love me? Okay. Once we get going, we're all right. Ta-da! So you can make Harridan original But Harridan add-on will be the same base shape and then different everything else. So basically it'll be the same gusset size and main panel piece, and then the same pieces for the card slots, but everything else will be different because that's fun. Do I have the pattern for the hairdresser belt? Yeah, that should be on my website. It's called the utility belt. I'm pretty sure that's already ready on my website. There's a pattern for that. I'm fairly confident there is. I know I wrote it, so unless I just haven't put it on there, it should be there. Say hi to Unky Brad for me. I call him Unky, not Uncle, because it sounds cooler, and I come up with that when I was a teenager, and it's just stuck. He will forever be known as Unky Brad. And that's because I got that from a guy I used to be in the band with. We called him Unky Mojo, just because we were being funny. And so then from Unky Mojo, I got Unky Brad, and it's stuck for the last, 20 years. Because even back then, I was still insane. I just had someone yesterday ask me for one, so I'll go look. Ah, pretty zipper. We need to add it to our inside. So this will be the back. All the zippers I want going in the same direction. It's how I roll. So we're going to take this, fold it in half, find the center, stick it down. I'm going to add one clip because I'm fancy. Oh, I love Vixen. I really want to make a Vixen, but I've just got other priorities. Like, you guys now want a pattern. We're tacking that down because we all know I like to baste everything ever. The utility belt is there. There you go. It's just called utility belt. I was very unimaginative when I named it. Please forgive me for that. It is super handy though. It's really great. I made it originally for a lady that worked at Big W. So that she designed it essentially. She's like, this is what I need. This size, this. And she loved it. And then I got a lot of orders for it. And so now it's just a pattern because you guys liked it too. I love Vixen. I want the template. Oh. I'm trying to decide if I should add some interfacing to the bonded nylon fabric pieces. I still haven't used bonded nylon. It's on my list. So you know what? Let's make it tomorrow's video. Probably won't be live because we can't just do all the lives. You'll get sick of lives. Not everybody enjoys lives like I do. I try to keep it fair for everyone. But I will go and get the bonded nylon that I have, and you guys can pick a pattern and I'll cut it out after this. I love templates and I love Vixen. If I was to only be able to afford a few templates in life, I would get Vixen. I'd pick my favorite wallet and get that. Or if you've got a Cricut, you could cut it out on there, except I haven't made SVGs. See, we circle back to that problem, don't we? Actually, would any of you be interested in converting my stuff to SVGs in exchange for a future copy of future patterns? Because that would suit me and then probably someone. So these are both bonded nylon. I'm going to sit them there so you can like ruminate with it. I want to make a bag. This will be the lining. This will be the outer. Help me pick a design. Probably one of mine or one that you know I've got already. I'm not buying a pattern this week. I have to buy templates. I am buying the troll templates is what I'm doing. How fabulous does that look? Just saying. All right, so this is the bit everybody got confused about. When turning it inside out, we're going to go to the side where the zipper pocket, Tory pocket is, and we're going to turn it out through that half. Screams a siren. Yeah, see, I thought that too. Actually, it's exactly what I thought. Right, so this is going to look a bit wonky donkey, but this is how we do it. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Da, 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 da. Oh my God, my brain. What's wrong with me? I want to use binding instead of turning it through. You could absolutely do that. You could also do a drop-in lining where you just fold under the edge, drop it in, stitch it round. Options. I'm sure I've seen a few, but when I googled Vixen, I only found 2 of my videos. They probably were lives, yes. This is how we do it. I make templates on my Cricut. See, that's cool. If you have a Cricut, I should probably end up making all the things with Cricut. With SVG, so that everything can be cut on a Cricut. It's low on my priority list, but I will try and at least put it on my list at all. How's that for a fair idea? Maybe I could do like 1 a month. So I will update the patterns with an SVG file. It'll be slow going, and I won't do all of them. So like Ragabrash won't come with an SVG file because it won't fit on a Cricut to begin with. But like the smaller stuff I could probably manage. Yeah, these are really pretty. I also have the handmade strapping from Mia Zen that's in pink. So it's going to have a strap with that. So I don't know what to make. Help me, because it's beautiful. And I want to see what bonded nylon's like. As a lining, I won't be putting interfacing because it's thick enough. But as an exterior, I will see how I feel with bag foam. Otherwise, it might need hefty as well. I think if you put the Vixen sideways, it fits. I think sideways on the Cricut will fit. So long as you've got a long mat. You need to have a 24-inch mat, and then if you put it sideways, I think it cuts it out for you. Scan and cut, still 12 inches, so still good to go. It's all about SVGs. Ta-da! But no, I need to make a bag. So the interfacing, so I will not interface it as a lining because it's plenty thick enough. See, it'd be a nice empress too, wouldn't it? Be a nice siren. It'd be a nice lot of things. The problem is we need to pick one. So I'll just stick it in the heat press with a Teflon sheet on top and Bob's your uncle. I think that, so for an exterior, you know what, let's open it. Before I do that, we're nearly finished anyway. I love that she puts Mia Zen along here. It makes me weirdly happy. All right, so I can tell you right now, if I was making a Vixen, I would 100% put my hefty, so iron on heavy, and then bag foam, because that's too soft for an exterior with just bag foam. But as a lining, it'll have no interfacing at all. I can tell you right now, that's what I'm going to do. No matter what bag I make, it will get iron-on non-woven heavy interfacing, which is my hefty, because I have crap tons of it. And bag foam to give it like a nice shape. But the lining, it's perfect as a lining. Woo! That's fun. All right, let's do the stitching. the bundled nylon on the exterior. Yeah, nice. So that's what I plan on doing. I'll do an exterior. I'll do some vinyl accents because that'll make it fancy, because we're all about fancy and a little bit extra this year. I know I said I'd also do classy bags, but let's be fairly honest with myself. I need to be. I'm probably not going to. Unless it's requested, I'm not going to do a lot of plain bags because it's just not my wheelhouse. I'm not good at it. It doesn't excite me as much as ridiculously over-the-top bags. And I don't have a lot of clientele for plain stuff. Like, even all my custom orders, they're never just plain, simple stuff. They're always elaborate and extra. This is how we do it. Yeah, Decaville Light. So now that we've got that, we're going to, I'm not going to trim that down because I don't need to. If you're on a domestic machine, cut out the bulk in the corners, but I'll be fine. The first thing I'm going to do is grab the pocket divider and bring it through. Ta-da! Then I am pretty much going to roll the bag up. I know I look insane doing this, okay? I'm aware of it, but watch how easy it is to turn the bag through. Alright, you roll it up, you shove everything inside there, and then you can just grab it and pull. And the whole bag just kind of falls out like giving birth. It's a bit squeaky too. It's just the type of vinyl it is. We're fine. It's all fine. Then I'm going to put my hand, look, I've turned through, put my hand in, and then just punch the corners. That's pretty much what I'm doing. And even though it looked like it didn't, look at my beautiful corners. There's no pinching. You've got to trust my process. I promise my patterns do work, but different people find different corners easier versus hard. So my corners are different seam allowanceness to, let's say, swoon. I find I struggle more with the swoon corners trying to fit them in than I do my own. And then there's other pattern designers that have even less stuff to ease into corners. So it's personal preference. Mine's based on math. I also need to melt my zipper under the table because there's a fan above my head. This way. Right, there we go. Get there in the end. Make sure you check your bag. I'm checking everywhere, make sure that everything has sewn, and then I'm going to stitch up my zipper pocket. Don't forget to Tory squish it. I know, right? We will, I promise. We'll get to that. I just tuck this in by hand. You are, of course, welcome to use clips. But the more you sew, the less you should need clips all the time. Like short straight lines, your aim should be to be able to do them without clips eventually. And I'm not saying rush off and do it today, but like that's your future life aim, right? It's getting really cold with the air conditioner on. It's making my nose runny, which is very not ideal. All right, then we're just gonna shove everything in the bag. I always stand over it, and I don't care how insane that is. It works for me, so I'm gonna stand over the bag. And look, divider pocket. Is that not amazing? It is amazing. You can't convince me otherwise. Let me turn off my air conditioning because it's freezing. My toes are cold. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Okay. And then we're going to roll this up and then fold that down. Now the reason I'm rolling first is because we want this to be nice, and then we're going to fold it under, preferably without that tail. That can go away. Down, because we're going to stitch them down because it looks nicer. I tried it both ways. When I originally did the pattern, I had these up, but then I found that it sat kind of pointy and I didn't like it. So, do you know, I can already think of another different add-on for this bag. I'm sitting here thinking about it right now. It's ridiculous. I know that. So another add-on would be, instead of having the zipper like this, you could have like a full, like enclosedness. My brain can just design forever. The problem is, I have all these ideas, but I feel like you probably wouldn't buy them because they're so similar. Like, you want different stuff. So I try to give very different feels and vibes with all of my bags. Like, you can't look at my bags and be like, oh yeah, that's the same designer, because it's similar to that one, because it's really not. I try to actively be very, very different. Obviously, Troll and Trollop are similar, but I've told you why that is. But like right now, instead of having the zipper like this, we could have it come in and have it so it's like a completely enclosed bag. Then you could do that and add a flap. Like, all the things, which would be a bit like the kangaroo, but a different shape. But to me, because I know how to do it, I think I forget that some people can't just go, oh, let's do that with that. But that is another idea. We could literally make this so that it's a completely enclosed bag with a divider pocket. So many things. So little time. All right, make sure that's up and out of the way. I'm going to add some clips on the sides as well. I'm also going to stitch this with the lining side up purely because I don't want it to turn inside out again. But you can, of course. Oh, no, I'm going to have to. Now I'm going to squish it. I need to sew this from the outside because I've just put all the clips on wrong. I need to sew it from the outside because my exterior thread is different from my inside thread. So at the moment I've been running with a thicker top thread than bobbin thread, and I don't want that to look weird, so I have to stitch it the right way. Thank you, Angela. You too can make this bag. You could do this, so the exact same bag I did in solid colors, and it feels different, even though it's exactly the same. Well, it's not. Okay, it's not exactly the same because I did this, but like mostly the same. Okay. This is gonna suck, but I'm gonna do it because it'll be worth it. So the easiest solution is turn the bag inside out, but I very clearly do not want to do that, so we're not going to. So instead, I'm gonna smush the bag, or like this, to be able to top stitch around the edge. You can judge me for it later. I promise it will work out. It just takes a minute. My top stitching will be a lot slower this time around. For so many reasons. But it will be worth it. Back here. Straight bits are always easier. Also, if you're on a domestic machine, I know I say it all the time, but you should totally 100% get the leather pliers that squish everything. It makes bigger seams skinnier, which makes them easier to stitch over. Like, I promise. Worth the investment. I sometimes even use them even though I've got this machine. So on sewing on the green machine, I would have squished this with the pliers. This machine is awesome enough, I don't need to. I also would have turned this bag inside out on the green machine. So there's a little bit of a difference because this machine is tough enough that it'll do what I want and not veer off the edge, which is important. I'm also going to stop here and tie off the actually no, I'm not going to tie off the tail because I can't get there because the bag's in the wrong way, so that's just not going to happen, people. So what instead I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and then back and then down. Chop. Trim the tails, flip her over. I know it's looking dodgy, don't worry about it. because I haven't straightened it yet. Now we can straighten it. And then we need a Tory squish. So we're going to start with this seam. We're going to roll it in our fingers. Violently manhandle it. It's kind of fun. I'm not going to lie. You can't see the face I'm pulling right now, and that's okay too. And then look, it sits beautifully. So you got to remember, the only bag foam is in the sides. The gusset is the only place that we put the bag foam, and it's enough to hold a bag this size up. So you can save yourself, like you could of course put bag foam on the whole thing, but it's just not needed. Look how beautiful that sits, and look compared to the other side. I'm getting there, it's a process. The corners look beautiful. This would look really nice with piping in it as well. All of the options. Make sure you do these sides as well. It'll make it look nicer. See? Sits beautiful. So now the last bit of hardware is put a zipper on, and then I've done a zipper end. Well, I've got one here. If you don't have zipper ends and they're not your thing, you can just get a rectangle of vinyl. In this particular case, I would be using the printed vinyl for it, but each to their own. Or I would use the if it was, so with this print, I would use printed. If you've done solid colors, I would use the accent color. So I'd actually do different things for different things. Shocker, I know. This is how we do it. So I fold it on an angle, under an angle, so it's like a triangle. And then we just shove with all of our might, so it's all the way in. Why is this my life problem? It's always never where I think I've left it. Zipper, electric zipper, screwdriver, best decision ever. This one is USB rechargeable. You can also get battery operated ones. Personally, I'm all about the recharge, because otherwise I'd go through a lot of batteries. We're not finished though. I just like to point out we're not done, because I want to add some rivets. First, I want to rivet in here. It's going to both look pretty and make sure that that stays all the way up there, because we've changed the look. And I want to put rivets on this to make it prettier. So we need a hole punch. Here's one I prepared earlier. I want it even, and I want a hole right there. I'm just going to eyeball it. You can, of course, draw a pretty dot to help you line things up. This is how we do. Right in the middle of the circle. Another one down here. Is that a lot of holes? Probably. It'll look cool though. Are these necessary? No, they are not. I'm just doing them anyway. We've still got the dies on from our beautiful studs from yesterday. I managed to find them in light gold and gunmetal. I didn't find them in bronze. Also, if you're in my Facebook group, I put up a link to the bullets because a lot of you wanted them. So I found the link and put it up for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 different die sets in here. So with this and that, that makes 15. That's a lot. And I use them all. That's the important part. Don't have stuff you're not going to use. need our rivets. Now that I no longer sell hardware, I am trying to manage my hardware into a box. Well, I've got 2 for each color, and then the zippers live in a separate box all on their own. I have so many pretty things. Look, we're gonna start using stuff like this. How fantastic is that? It's happening, just not today. Yes, if you wanted to make this strap adjustable, you would just here, you could just have like a bit and then add a rectangle ring, or you could just literally put it there, rectangle ring, and then have it adjustable. Absolutely, you could. But that's good that you finished prepping. It's always nice to have that feeling. Nope. Ah. One woman. One. Clip. Down. Other end. Stubby McStabson. No, not that. It's supposed to be in there. I like 9mm rivets, just if you're all wondering. 10 feels a bit big, 8 feels a bit small. I used to use 8, I went up to 9. But this is a 10mm rivet press. So I can do 10mm and smaller with the same press. It's just an added detail, right? And it's a subtle one. If I had red glitter ones, I actually probably would have used those. But it's really hard to find colored rivets with a black surrounding. They usually only come in silver and yellow gold, which is why I tend to not even bother. If I could find them with a light gold, I would go get some. And then I'd buy silver ones as well. Okay, now the bag is finished. Clip this on. And then clip this on. So this will be for sale on my website. And if it doesn't sell before the market, see, I like to just tuck that in, but it's nice to have there, right? Beautiful. And that way we haven't lost the girl on the side. I still need to, see that? Still needs a bit of a squish. We've got our zipper pocket on the back, and see how it's wonky? That's not actually wonky, it's the bag pulling. Better, see? It's not necessarily your sewing that's giving you a wonky zip. Sometimes it's just the way the bag sits. But it's beautiful. You don't have to do these accents. They're just an optional add-on extra that's fun. You can skip them. You could do a strap the same way as the Lynn's Handmade one with all the little bits, and you could add a little mini wallet here. Like, all the things. You are limited by what you feel like doing, honestly. And then when you open it, divider pocket, zipper pocket, and these are 2 separate entities, so it's easier to organize. Everyone's a winner. So before you all disappear, what do we decide on for this? Because I've got to go prep it. I'm basically running on 2 tubs, so I will go prep this in this tub now that I've done that. I'm trying not to over prep. We'll get there. It's fine. So I need to pick a bag because this is pretty. Fix it. See? Go-to. It's always good to go to the go-to. I do think that this will sell before the thing. Harridan, look at you. You're like, do the Harridan. I hear you, and I will. I promise. . I want to do a big bag and really showcase it. And Harridan's a small bag. I could do okay, so the options are Siren, Vixen, Rascal, Temptress. We have not done a Temptress in a while. Oh, with a pale blue, because pink's the obvious choice, right, for an accent. So I automatically either want to do navy blue or pale blue as the accent, because we don't do normal. Empress is fun. Vixen. I do want to make an Empress, and I finally have bag foam again. I have 8 meters, I think. Temptress would show it off. I haven't made Temptress in ages. I've never made a Temptress on this machine. But I also plan on making a Temptress once my Lord of the Rings vinyl comes. That's happening. I'm so excited for that. Or we could do a sportier bag. What's a sportier bag? I could do a backpack. I could do the is it Denver by Swoon? With those funky little side pockets. That would be fun. Empress. Vixen, Empress, Temptress. I would only get Empress out of this if I did Empress. I couldn't get anything else. I could get maybe Temptress and Vixen out of this. Denver would be pretty. So many options. I will think on your make dice. I love that. You're like, do none of it. Do none of it. Oh, I'm gonna put that down there. All right, I'm gonna sign off. And oh, I know what you mean. Okay, that's a very good point. I see what you mean now. I have a bunch of dice. You are correct. So I have a dice because I sell them. We'll pull one out. So for those that don't know, I made fun dice that are decision dice. So it might not help us as much as you think, because it says buy a new pattern, make something fringed, so that would be Rascal, make a tote, which would be Empress, use your favorite fabric, make for a friend, make a wallet. We're not doing a wallet. We'll roll it, see what it says. Use your favorite fabric. Well, that didn't really help me, did it? Because we're already doing it. Make for a friend. Oh, come on, just make a tote. Oh, buy a new pattern. Tricky, tricky. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite help me. I'm not buying a new pattern. That is not today's mission. Maybe I'll make a dice that has 6 of my most popular patterns on it. That would be fun. Make your backpack. It would be pretty. Maybe I'll go do that. All right, I'm going. But thank you all for tuning in. Go buy Troll. Support the cause. Buy my pattern. It helps. Makes me not have to get a day job. We've been seriously considering me getting a day job because I'm not getting the sales I used to, which is also why I'm so mad I don't have my Facebook page anymore. I absolutely am going to make a dice that is covered in different bag patterns of mine. It's going to happen. You have decided for me. All right, guys, thank you for coming. If you don't have my pattern, support the cause, buy my pattern, like this video. It helps the algorithm. I assume most of you are subscribed by this point, but if not, go subscribe. It'll alert you every time I release a new video. And yeah, thank you for being here. Bye.